The wind howled outside the research facility, whipping around the desolate expanse of Antarctica. The blinding white landscape stretched endlessly, glimmering like a vast ocean of ice under the pallid sun. For most, it was a place of isolation, of silence and stillness, but for Dr. Amelia Carter, it was an invitation. The starkness was a call to explore the unknown. Amelia had always felt a magnetic pull toward the mysterious. A climatologist by training, she was drawn to the depths of ice, where ancient secrets lay preserved beneath layers of frozen time. But this expedition was different. She had received an urgent message from the Antarctic Science Division, a call for help that sent a chill down her spine. "Dr. Carter," it read, "we need your expertise immediately. A team has gone missing during an excavation at Site 49B. There are reports of unusual seismic activity in the area. We suspect they may have uncovered something significant, possibly dangerous. Please come to McMurdo Station as soon as possible." The words echoed in her mind. Missing? Dangerous? The thrill of discovery mixed with a sense of foreboding. She'd packed her gear in a frenzy, her heart racing at the prospect of what they might have unearthed. The flight to McMurdo was cramped and cold, filled with scientists and support staff, all murmuring anxiously about the missing team. As they landed on the icy runway, the gravity of the situation settled on Amelia's shoulders like a heavy cloak. McMurdo Station loomed ahead, a collection of brightly coloured buildings nestled against the stark white horizon. After disembarking, she was met by Dr. Ben Thompson, the head of the Antarctic Science Division. He looked worn, his eyes shadowed with concern. "Thank you for coming, Amelia," he said, shaking her hand firmly. "We're grateful for your expertise. We lost contact with the team 3 days ago. They were studying the seismic anomalies and reported unusual findings just before the signal cut off." "What were they studying?" Amelia asked, her curiosity piqued. "An ancient ice core from a depth of over a mile. Preliminary data suggested a sudden spike in temperatures and strange formations in the ice. We believe they might have stumbled upon something, not of this world." His voice lowered as if the very air carried the weight of his words. The briefing room was filled with tense energy as scientists and military personnel gathered to discuss the rescue mission. Maps of the excavation site dotted the walls, red circles marking the location where contact was lost. Amelia studied the area, noting its proximity to an extensive network of subterranean caverns. "We need a small team to head to Site 49B, Dr. Thompson said, addressing the group. "Time is of the essence. The longer we wait, the more dangerous the situation could become." Amelia volunteered immediately, a mix of dread and determination coursing through her veins. Alongside her were Sergeant Mike Harris, a no-nonsense military man, and Dr. Elena Chen, a geologist with a fierce reputation for her fieldwork. Together they would venture into the depths of the ice, into the heart of the unknown. As they gathered their equipment, thermal suits, communication devices, and excavation tools, Amelia felt a strange anticipation bubbling within her. What could possibly be hidden beneath the ice? The thrill of discovery was intoxicating, but so was the fear of what they might find. The helicopter ride to Site 49B was tense, the icy winds battering the aircraft as they flew over the vast white landscape. Amelia peered out the window, the endless ice fields, a stark reminder of how isolated they were. A foreboding feeling settled in her stomach. As they landed, the stark reality of their situation hit her. The excavation site was a jagged gash in the ice, surrounded by towering cliffs. Abandoned equipment lay strewn about, half buried in snow. "Where is the team?" Amelia asked, scanning the area. "Let's check the tents first," Mike replied, adjusting his gear. "They might have taken shelter there." The first tent they entered was a mess of scattered papers and overturned chairs. A few personal items lay abandoned. A backpack, a coffee mug, and a half-eaten granola bar. But there was no sign of the missing scientists. "Look at this," Eleanor said, picking up a notebook from the ground. The pages were filled with hurried notes, sketches of strange formations, and phrases that sent shivers down Amelia's spine. "The ice is alive? What does that even mean?" Amelia felt a chill creep down her back. "We need to find the others," she urged. "They might still be in the ice caves." As they descended into the ice caves, the temperature dropped even further. The air was thick with humidity, and the walls glistened with moisture. The light from their headlamps danced off the icy surfaces, revealing intricate patterns that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. "Stay close," Mike instructed, his voice echoing in the cavernous space. "We don't know what we're dealing with here." They moved deeper into the cave, the silence wrapping around them like a shroud. Every crunch of snow beneath their feet felt amplified, a reminder of how alone they were. Amelia's heart raced as they ventured further into the labyrinth of ice, the narrow tunnels twisting and turning like the gnarled roots of some ancient beast. Suddenly, Elena stopped in her tracks. "Do you hear that?" she whispered, her eyes wide. Amelia strained to listen. A low, resonant hum vibrated through the ice, sending shivers up her spine. It was unlike anything she had ever heard, a deep, throbbing sound that seemed to pulse with life. "What the hell is that?" Mike asked, his expression tense. "I don't know," Amelia replied, a sense of dread creeping into her voice, "but we need to find the others, now." As they pressed deeper into the caves, the sound grew louder, reverberating through the icy walls like the heartbeat of some ancient creature. Amelia could feel the pulse in her chest, a primal instinct, urging her to turn back. Yet the curiosity was too strong. They had to discover what lay at the heart of this anomaly. The tunnel widened into a vast chamber, the ceiling soaring above them like the vaulted roof of a cathedral. Glowing blue lights illuminated the space, revealing strange crystalline formations jutting from the ground and walls. Amelia felt her breath catch in her throat. The ice was not merely ice, it was alive, pulsating with a rhythm that echoed the sound they had heard. "Look at this," Elena exclaimed, rushing toward a particularly large crystal structure. "These formations, they're not natural." Amelia approached cautiously, running her fingers along the icy surface. It felt warm, almost alive. "This shouldn't be here," she murmured, her mind racing with possibilities. What if they uncovered something that shouldn't exist? Mike moved to examine a set of footprints etched into the icy floor. "These tracks look fresh. They lead deeper into the cave," he noted. "We need to follow them." With a shared nod, they ventured further into the chamber, their footsteps echoing eerily against the ice. The sense of being watched settled upon them, a creeping unease that set every nerve on edge. What had the missing team discovered? And what consequences awaited them in the depths of the ice? As they navigated through the crystalline maze, the air became charged, electric with anticipation. The atmosphere thickened, and the walls seemed to close in around them. They followed the footprints deeper into the bowels of the ice until they came upon another chamber, one much larger and filled with an inexplicable energy. At the center of the chamber, a massive structure rose from the ice, its form obscured by frost and shadow. It appeared to be a door, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols that pulsed with a faint, otherworldly light. Amelia's heart raced. This was what they had uncovered, a gateway to something unimaginable. "What is this place?" Elena breathed, stepping forward in awe. Amelia moved closer, examining the carvings. They depicted scenes of figures, strange beings with elongated limbs and faces twisted in expressions of agony and ecstasy. They were surrounded by swirling patterns that resembled the very formations they had seen earlier. "It looks like a history," she whispered, "a record of something ancient. But what?" Before she could contemplate further, a crack echoed through the chamber, reverberating off the walls. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and the ice creaked ominously. "Get back!" Mike shouted, grabbing Elena's arm and pulling her away from the door as it began to shift. The ice surrounding the massive door shattered, fragments flying in all directions as the structure slowly opened. A blast of frigid air erupted from within, swirling around them and filling the chamber with an unsettling howl. Amelia's instincts screamed at her to flee, but her feet remained glued to the ground, entranced by the spectacle unfolding before her. What lay beyond the door was cloaked in shadows, but a soft glow emanated from within, illuminating the edges of an impossibly large figure. It appeared to be slumped against the back wall of the chamber, enveloped in a cocoon of ice. The air hummed with an unearthly energy that sent goosebumps prickling across Amelia's skin. "What is that?" Elena gasped, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know, but we have to find out," Amelia replied, her curiosity outweighing her fear. As they stepped closer, the glow intensified, casting eerie shadows that danced along the icy walls. The figure began to shift, ice cracking and falling away as it stirred from its slumber. A low, resonant voice filled the chamber, vibrating through the very bones of their bodies. "What have you awakened?" the voice echoed, a sound that resonated with both power and sorrow. The figure began to emerge from the ice, revealing itself as a creature of unimaginable size and form. It was humanoid, yet grotesquely distorted, with elongated limbs and skin that shimmered like ice under the light. Amelia's heart raced as she stumbled backward. "We need to leave now!" she shouted. But Mike and Elena stood frozen, their eyes wide with a mix of terror and fascination. The creature's eyes opened, glowing with an intelligence that was both ancient and alien. It regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and hunger, as if weighing the value of their very souls. "You are not of my kind," it spoke, its voice resonating through the chamber. "But you have trespassed upon sacred ground. You have disturbed the slumber of those who should remain undisturbed." "What do you mean?" Amelia found her voice, trying to project authority, despite the terror surging through her. "Who are you?" "I am the keeper of the secrets," the creature replied, its voice echoing ominously. "For eons, I have been bound to this place, guarding the knowledge of worlds long forgotten. You have come seeking answers, but the truth comes at a price." Amelia felt a chill run down her spine. "What price?" "The knowledge you seek comes with the burden of understanding," the keeper warned. "To know what lies beneath the ice is to know the horrors that have been hidden away. Are you prepared to face what you have awakened?" Amelia exchanged glances with Mike and Elena, the weight of the creature's words sinking in. What had they stumbled upon? The secrets buried beneath the ice were clearly more dangerous than they had imagined. Yet, curiosity clawed at her insides. She had dedicated her life to understanding the mysteries of the earth, and now, faced with the ultimate revelation, could she turn away? "Tell us what we need to know," Amelia said, her voice steady, despite the fear coursing through her veins. "We're willing to listen." The keeper's gaze intensified, and for a moment, the world around them faded. Images flooded Amelia's mind, visions of ancient civilizations that had thrived and perished beneath the ice, of beings who had walked the earth before humanity, their knowledge and power now lost to time. But intertwined with those visions were horrors, cataclysmic events, creatures that defied nature and the suffering of countless souls. "Knowledge is a double-edged sword," the keeper warned. "You cannot unlearn what you will come to know. The choice is yours. Leave now and return to your lives, or embrace the truth and bear witness to what lies beyond the veil of reality." Amelia felt the weight of the decision pressing down on her. The pull of knowledge was intoxicating, but the implications terrified her. What had the previous team discovered? What had they unleashed? The thought of leaving without answers gnawed at her. "What happens if we stay?" Mike asked, breaking the silence. "If you choose to remain, you will be shown the truth of your world, the truths that have been hidden beneath the ice for eons. But be warned, the journey will not be easy. You will confront your greatest fears, and not all who seek the truth will return unchanged." Elena's voice trembled as she spoke. "What about the others, the team that went missing?" "They too sought the truth," the keeper replied solemnly. "But the path to knowledge is perilous. Many have been lost to the depths of their own understanding." The air was thick with tension as they deliberated, the weight of the keeper's words echoing in their minds. Amelia could feel the pulse of the ice beneath her feet, a reminder of the ancient power sleeping just beyond their reach. The allure of the unknown tugged at her. This was an opportunity to uncover secrets that could redefine humanity's understanding of its history. "I want to stay," Amelia said finally, her voice firm. "I can't walk away from this." Mike hesitated, glancing between Amelia and Elena. "We could be putting ourselves in danger. We don't know what we're dealing with." "But what if we're on the verge of a monumental discovery?" Amelia argued. "We have to know." Elena took a deep breath, her resolve hardening. "I agree. We came here to understand the science behind the anomalies, and this is an unprecedented chance. We can't turn back now." With a shared understanding, they turned back to the keeper. "We will stay," Amelia declared. "Show us what we need to know." The creature's eyes glimmered with approval. "Very well. Prepare yourselves. The journey you have chosen will test the very fabric of your being." As the keeper stepped forward, the air around them shifted, the icy chamber warping and twisting until it morphed into a vast expanse of dark energy and light. The landscape around them became a swirling tempest, revealing glimpses of worlds beyond their own. Suddenly, they were no longer in the icy chamber. Amelia found herself standing in a vast, otherworldly landscape, a place that defied all logic and understanding. The sky shimmered with hues of violet and emerald, and the ground beneath her feet pulsed as if alive. She felt the air crackling with energy, and her senses heightened to a dizzying degree. "Welcome to the realm of echoes." The keeper's voice resonated around them. "A guide in this strange land. Here you will witness the truths that have shaped your world, and the secrets buried beneath the ice." Visions began to swirl around them, flickering images that revealed the history of Earth from a perspective they had never known. She saw ancient civilizations that thrived long before humanity, their inhabitants harnessing powers that bent the laws of nature. They danced in the light of twin suns, their rituals echoing through the ages, celebrating a connection to the universe that modern society had long forgotten. But as the images shifted, the tone darkened. She saw cataclysmic events, the rise of monstrous creatures that had roamed the earth, devouring civilizations and leaving only ruins in their wake. Terrified faces twisted in anguish as they faced horrors beyond comprehension. Amelia's heart raced as she realized that this was no mere history lesson. It was a warning. "What is this?" she gasped, clinging to Mike's arm for support. "What happened to them?" "They sought knowledge," the keeper explained, its voice a haunting melody. "And with that knowledge came chaos. They awakened forces that should have remained dormant, and in their hubris, they were consumed by the very truths they sought." The visions morphed again, this time revealing the missing team. Amelia felt a pang of despair as she watched them standing in the same chamber she had entered, their expressions a mix of awe and terror. They had been mesmerized by the glowing crystals and the ancient door, but something had changed in their demeanor. The excitement had morphed into fear, confusion etching lines across their faces. "No!" Amelia cried out as she watched them touch the keeper's structure, a decision that set off a chain reaction of destruction. The ground trembled violently, and shadows poured from the door like smoke, consuming the team in an instant. Their screams echoed through the chamber, chilling her to the core. "Stop this!" she yelled, clutching her head. "We can't let this happen!" "This is the past," the keeper said, its tone calm yet sorrowful. "It cannot be changed, only understood. The knowledge they sought led to their demise. This is the fate of those who awaken the buried truths without preparedness." Amelia felt a sense of dread wash over her. "What are we meant to learn from this?" "You must confront the shadows within yourselves," the keeper explained, "to understand the consequences of your choices and the price of knowledge. The truth can illuminate, but it can also consume. Will you be able to bear what lies ahead?" Mike and Eleanor exchanged uncertain glances, the weight of the keeper's words pressing heavily on them. Amelia took a deep breath, steeling her resolve. "We have to keep going. We've come this far." As the visions faded, they found themselves back in the ice chamber, the keeper watching them intently. "You have witnessed the fate of those who came before you, but there is more. You must understand that knowledge is not the only thing that dwells in the depths." With a wave of its hand, the keeper summoned a swirling mass of shadows that coalesced into a figure, a monstrous entity that loomed before them, a silhouette of nightmares. It had elongated limbs and features that twisted and morphed, a reflection of the fears buried within their own hearts. "This is the shadow of truth," the keeper intoned. "It represents the darkness that comes with knowledge, the part of yourself that fears the unknown. It feeds on doubt and despair, drawing strength from the vulnerabilities you hide." Amelia felt her chest tighten as the shadow lunged toward her, its chilling presence overwhelming. "No!" she shouted, stepping back. "Stay away from me." The shadow's form shifted, reflecting her own insecurities and regrets. "You sought the truth," it taunted, its voice a chilling whisper. "But can you handle what you have awakened?" The room felt charged with tension as the shadow advanced, and Amelia instinctively stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. "I will not be afraid," she declared, drawing upon the strength within her. Mike and Elena stood beside her, and together they faced the shadow of truth. "You have no power over us," Mike shouted, his voice steady. "Your fears do not define you," Elena added, grounding herself in their shared resolve. "We are stronger than the darkness." As they united their energies, a brilliant light surged from their combined wills, pushing back against the shadow's form. The air crackled with electricity, and Amelia could feel the warmth of their collective courage radiating through her. "Together," Amelia urged, "we can overcome this." The shadow writhed and twisted, its form destabilizing under the light. "You cannot escape your truth," it screeched, but the light grew stronger, encasing them in a protective barrier. With a final surge of energy, they unleashed their will, and the shadow dissipated into nothingness, leaving only a lingering chill in the air. As the last echoes of the shadow faded, the keeper regarded them with an intensity that felt almost reverent. "You have faced your fears and emerged stronger. The path ahead will still be fraught with challenges, but you have proven your resolve." "What now?" Amelia asked, still catching her breath from the confrontation. "The final truth awaits," the keeper replied. "To know what lies beneath the ice, you must descend further into the depths. There you will find the source of the anomalies and the key to understanding what was lost." As the keeper gestured towards a new passageway that had opened, Amelia felt a mixture of dread and exhilaration. They had come too far to turn back now. With their hearts pounding, they stepped into the newly revealed passage, a tunnel carved from the ice that seemed to pulse with energy. The walls shimmered with a soft blue glow, illuminating the way forward. "Do you think we'll find the missing team?" Elena asked, her voice a mixture of hope and fear. "I hope so," Amelia replied, her determination firm. "We owe it to them to uncover the truth." The tunnel spiraled downward, leading them into a vast cavern that dwarfed the previous chambers. Stalactites hung like teeth from the ceiling, and an immense underground lake stretched out before them, its surface smooth and dark, reflecting the glow of the crystalline formations around the edges. "Is this what the team found?" Mike mused, stepping closer to the water's edge. "It must be," Amelia said, scanning the area for any signs of their colleagues. "They may have been drawn to the lake." As they ventured further into the cavern, a sudden movement caught Amelia's eye. Shapes flickered just beneath the surface of the lake, shadows darting in and out of sight. She felt a pang of unease. "We need to be careful. Whatever is down there could be dangerous." "Let's split up and search the perimeter," Mike suggested. "We'll cover more ground that way." With a reluctant nod, they divided into two groups, Mike and Elena moving to one side while Amelia took the other. As she walked along the shore, she peered into the depths, her breath catching as she glimpsed a figure moving beneath the water, a human shape. "Guys," she called out, her voice echoing in the cavern. "I think I see someone." Mike and Elena rushed over, their expressions turning from curiosity to alarm as they approached the edge of the lake. "Do you see them?" Elena asked, straining to catch a glimpse. Amelia nodded, her heart racing. "It's definitely a person." But as they peered closer, the figure shifted and disappeared beneath the surface, leaving only ripples in the water. A cold chill ran through Amelia, a foreboding feeling settling in her gut. "Wait here," Mike instructed, looking back at them. "I'll go in and see if I can reach them." Mike stripped off his gear and stepped into the icy water, a grimace crossing his face as the cold enveloped him. "Stay close to the edge," he shouted, swimming out towards the last spot where he had seen the figure. Amelia and Elena held their breaths, anxiously scanning the water for any sign of Mike. Minutes felt like hours as the surface remained still, the shadows dancing just below. The glow from the cavern's crystals illuminated the depths, but they could see no trace of their friend. "Where is he?" Elena asked, her voice tight with worry. Just as Amelia was about to call out to him, Mike suddenly resurfaced, gasping for air. "There's nothing! No one is down there!" he exclaimed, climbing back onto the shore, shivering violently. "It was just an illusion." Amelia felt a surge of frustration. "What do you mean, an illusion?" "I don't know, but I saw something, some figure. It was like it was trying to draw me in." He shook his head, as if trying to clear the remnants of whatever had captivated him. Before they could process what had happened, the ground trembled violently, and the cavern quaked around them. The shadows beneath the water surged, forming shapes that twisted and writhed, as if trying to escape the depths. "We need to get out of here," Amelia shouted, instinctively grabbing Mike's arm. As they turned to run, the water erupted, and dark shapes shot toward them, clawing their way to the surface. The echoes of anguished cries filled the cavern, and the icy tendrils of despair wrapped around their hearts. "Run!" Elena screamed, and they sprinted back towards the tunnel. But the shadows were relentless, chasing them with a fury born of ages. Amelia could hear the whispers of the lost team, their cries mingling with the wind, a cacophony of terror that sent chills down her spine. "We can't let them catch us," Mike panted, glancing back at the darkness spilling from the lake. The shadows surged forward, grasping at their ankles, pulling them back toward the lake. Amelia felt her breath quicken, fear clawing at her chest. "Keep moving. We can't look back." They burst into the passageway, scrambling over the icy ground as the shadows coiled around them, the darkness almost tangible. The keeper's warning echoed in her mind. The truth could consume them. They had to escape. "Go! We have to get back to the surface," Mike shouted, leading the charge. The tunnel twisted and turned, the familiar path now a maze of ice and shadow. As they ran, the air grew thick with despair, the darkness threatening to swallow them whole. But as they reached a fork in the path, a shadowy figure emerged from the depths, blocking their way. It was a distorted version of one of the missing team members, their eyes wide with terror and despair. "Help us," the figure wailed, a chilling cry that sent shivers through Amelia's spine. "No!" she shouted, shaking her head. "You're not real!" "Don't listen," Mike yelled, his voice straining against the noise. "Keep moving." With a surge of adrenaline, they pushed past the figure, ignoring its anguished cries. The shadows clawed at their backs, and the darkness seemed to close in around them as they raced towards the surface. Bursting into the cold, open air of the surface, they stumbled into the snow, gasping for breath as the wind whipped around them. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the desolate landscape. For a moment they felt a sense of relief, until they heard the echo of laughter in the distance. "It's not over yet," Mike said, his expression grave. "We have to warn the others at McMurdo. They need to know what we found." Amelia nodded, her heart pounding. "We have to get back before it's too late." As they made their way back toward the helicopter, a sinking feeling settled in her stomach. They had escaped the depths, but the horrors of the ice had not been vanquished. The Keeper's warning loomed large in her mind. What had they truly awakened, and at what cost? Arriving back at McMurdo Station, Amelia felt the weight of their experience bearing down on her. They reported their findings to Dr. Thompson, who listened intently, his expression a mix of disbelief and concern. "You're saying the entire team, they were consumed by their own pursuit of knowledge?" "They unleashed something they couldn't control," Amelia replied, her voice steady. "The Keeper warned us. Knowledge can be a double-edged sword." Dr. Thompson frowned, contemplating their revelations. "We need to act fast. If the anomalies are linked to what you encountered, we can't risk further exploration without understanding the full extent of the threat." As they prepared to leave, Amelia looked back at the icy expanse, a sense of foreboding settling in her chest. They had survived the depths, but the echoes of their encounter would haunt her forever. What lay beneath the ice was far more than they could comprehend, and the cost of that knowledge would continue to echo in their lives. Days turned into weeks, and the world continued as it always had. But Amelia could not shake the feeling of dread. They had returned to their lives, but the knowledge they had gained weighed heavily on them. "Do you ever think about going back?" Mike asked one evening as they sat in the lab, poring over their data. Amelia paused, her heart heavy with memories. "I think about it every day. But I know we can't. The truth beneath the ice is too dangerous." Elena leaned back in her chair, a contemplative look in her eyes. "But what if there are others who seek it? What if someone else stumbles upon that door?" The thought chilled Amelia to the bone. "We can't let that happen. We need to protect the knowledge we have, even if it means keeping it buried." And as they spoke, the shadows of their past lingered in the corners of their minds, a reminder of the darkness that resided in the depths, forever echoing the truths they had unearthed. Beneath the ice, in the chamber where they had first encountered the Keeper, a new presence emerged. The shadows stirred, whispering secrets of the past, while the Keeper stood watch, ever vigilant. "The cycle continues," it murmured, its voice a haunting echo in the void. "Knowledge awakens, and the shadows rise to meet it. Those who seek will always find, but the truth may come at a price." And so the Keeper remained, bound to the depths, guarding the secrets of the ages, waiting for the next curious soul to awaken the truths long buried beneath the ice.